We're in Anaheim again this year for another NAMM Show. President and CEO of NAMM, Joe Lamond, has joined us to tell us a little bit more about this year's exhibition. What's happened over the last 12 months with NAMM?
Well, here we are in 2020, right? A new year and maybe the start of an explosive new decade as well. So when I think of the shows, and last year we really were seeing the vision of Crossroads come together, where the NAMM Show was the crossroads of the old Silk Road, where all the elements of the industry, global industry, came together to trade and to share new technology, and that had been our implementation of that vision. And one of the things I've noticed this year is that we just started over again. That every year, the NAMM Show, we literally do begin with a blank piece of paper. We've got that overarching vision of Crossroads, but what's coming this year especially is just coming from the membership. It's coming from the industry. So the new products, the energy, the excitement, the growth of some areas, perhaps the steady or shrinking of other areas, that is the manifestation of the last 12 months. And there's only one place you can see it all laid out in front of you, right in front of your eyes. It's the NAMM Show floor.
So with that in mind, what are some of the new things that you've added to the show this year?
I think the advance of technology in live sound and event production at all, the enhancements of expectation. People are now so used to going to a live event and seeing unbelievably high quality sound, video, lighting, and other things that almost immerse you into the experience. So I think our companies and our members have actually taken that even further. One of the things, interestingly, as a side note to our role as an industry of bringing people together, is bringing them together safely. And so I see our members even being more aware and maybe more responsibly thinking of their role in creating these live events and doing them safely. So I think there's more of that this year in the education especially.
So you just mentioned then about the importance of live sound. It's been a couple of years now since you opened the North Hall. And
yeah.
Do you feel Pro Audio has become kind of a core element?
The goal that I had was to look at the career path that I had in working music retail, being a performer, and then production management and doing tours. And I just felt this affinity to every element of that. The band gear on the stage, the sound, the lights, the staging, the rigging. And those were my friends. Those were the people that on a road, you become brothers and sisters with, right? And so the goal had always been, can we make the NAMM Show the place where all those things come together? Having people like, the AES organization offering their training here. So important to me because you've got to provide value if they're going to come.
So I was particularly interested to hear about the esports circus tie-in that you're doing this year, which, okay, like you just said just now, if we'd have gone back a decade ago, I don't think any of us would imagine that you'd have something like that here.
Part of our industry is to always look for a growth story, right? I mean, where are people going? Where is investment going? Where is energy going into? And you think about gaming or esports, there's a lot happening over in that area. Again, it's triggering a lot of human nature, right? But I think what we offer and what they need is going to be part of our creative process. Gaming particularly. I've got a son who grew up, every time I'd go by his room, he's on his console gaming, but there was always great music attached to it. And so composers were writing now for games. Audio engineers were creating this great mix for these games. It was becoming almost as an important component as the graphics were.
One thing, again, we touch up on with you yearly, really, is the core educational emphasis that you place on NAMM. So have you added any new elements to the program this year that you're particularly excited about?
Yeah, I think if anything, we have just under 400 sessions. We're trying to really focus in on the sessions that people want to visit. I think at one point, 2 years ago, we had 600, and I believe that was too many. We're here for 5 days, and people are also torn in different directions. So we really had to make it to where it was very clear how to make the most of your educational opportunities in 5 days. So I kept thinking about, what is this like? What does this remind me of? And I thought of my kids, and it's like, it's a college campus. And on a college campus, you've got different majors. My kid was a business major, but they also had the law school, they had the medical school, they had liberal arts, so there's different areas of the campus. But he hung out mostly in the business school, but he also took electives over here. And so I look at this week here with all the NAMM members from around the world as that. It's a campus. Retailers will primarily stay in the retail school. Riggers are going to be over in some of the ESTA sessions. And if you're a recording or producer, you might be over in some of the tech tracks area. I think the campus is being refined to pick your major and then select your electives. So it's clear for everybody to know by Sunday, have they graduated on time? Have they made their parents happy?